Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video from me, Tom J. Sherlock. And in this video, we're going to tell you a little bit about how Elevate qualified to the Siege Invitational 2023. That is taking place between the 7th of February up until the 19th of February. And you can watch it all happening on the Rainbow Six Twitch streams as well. So make sure you're cheering on the boys of Elevate. So to give you a little bit of insight into how the boys of Elevate qualified for the Siege Invitational, we're going to rewind time and take you down the path of how they got there. It all began with stage 1, in which we achieved 275 SI points. It was after SI 2022 where Elevate surprised everyone, and the questions were asked, could they carry on that momentum and success into 2023 and the back end of 2022. So after SI 2022, Napew was benched and Nerix retired. And Elevate did a little bit of scouting and they picked up 2 unknown gunners. And by unknown gunners, we mean massively unknown gunners. I think they may have both had under 10 followers on Twitter. That's how you want to rank how well known Siege players are, which I know a lot of Siege players care about their following on Twitter. And those 2 unknown gunners were Mark and Mr. Punch, who both had no T1 experience. And the questions were asked, who are these players they are picking up? Are they going to perform? Are they going to be juicers? Who knows? Only time would tell. And well, it didn't start off too great, let's be honest, with Elevate losing the first 2 games of the stage. And people thought that Mark and Mr. Punch, what are they doing? Like, these are bad pickups. But boy, did they prove their doubters wrong, with Elevate going on to win 4 of their last 5 games to end up placing 2nd in APAC South and qualifying for the APAC playoffs. This guaranteed 115 SI points, which is big juicy points, and taking those little baby steps towards qualifying for SI 2023. We did get dominated by Cyclops in round 1, losing 2-0, and it wasn't looking too peachy to qualify for the major. But boy, did it get a big turnaround by taking down Knights 2-0 in losers round 1, and then easily carrying on that momentum like an unstoppable force by beating Talon 2-0 in losers round 2, which meant Elevate qualified for the Charlotte Major with that win.
To Prone in the corner, and wait, he finds Josh. He's not good for another one though. But Elevate have managed to maintain a 3v3. It's an execute for Knights in the 2v1. But that diffuser is on Quiz, and he's got to plant it. There's no hope now. Mr. Punch in the 1v1, and Elevate can dismiss the Knights. They punch their ticket forward to face Talon.
A response, the shots, they eventually land. Canoso, he's faulted elsewhere. It's a 2 versus 4. Elevate are this close to the major. Demic in the 1v4. He hits a nice shot, but Onigiri with the trade. The Kings of Thailand snatch the crown with one hand, and with the other, their ticket to the major. Elevate, take a bow.
That guaranteed us 225 SI points, which once again, taking those little steps closer and closer to securing that spot at SI 2023. They went on to not lose a single map in the rest of the playoffs and only went and got bloody first place in APAC Stage 1, which I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. It simply does not get better than that. Unfortunately, the visas did not arrive in time, which wasn't the best thing, and it meant that Elevate got automatically placed 13th to 16th for the major, which was only a measly 50 SI points. But SI points nonetheless, which meant Elevate ended stage 1 with 275 points, well, SI points, which meant it was a good but not what we were quite expecting. So there was still work to be done. At the end of stage 2, Elevate ended up with 380 points. And yeah, as we mentioned, after unfortunately missing out on the Charlotte Major due to the visa issues, It meant that Elevate still had a lot to do to prove to people that they were serious contenders in the Siege scene. So there was still work to be done by Elevate. Again, we started off poorly by losing the first game of the stage to Direwolves.
DCH gets one, immediately traded though by ED. Harambe low, now dead for the count. Pika still low as well on that mirror, but he gets the swing, no! Loses out to Onigiri, who finds a double! A much needed double from Onigiri to stand up for Elevate. The ping over towards the pillar position. Souffle can't quite finish him off. Onigiri staying alive. Edie, the vault, the shotgun up close, and he gets the second onto Onigiri!
However, once again, the Comeback Kings got that ball rolling as they caught fire for the rest of the season, winning not only 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 bloody straight games, including a 7-4 win over Gaming Gladiators, which clinched them once again first place in APAC South at this point. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite get that 6th win in a row, losing to Fury 7-8. But that guaranteed us 215 SI points, which also meant we qualified for the Berlin Major. And the Berlin Major arguably coming back as one Siege in the flesh, and boy was it an exciting event. Elevate got placed in the group with Astralis, Furia and M&M. Everyone expected Astralis to just walk the group and stomp out everyone, but it was still up for grabs who might qualify in that second spot. Elevate start day one of the group strong, being M&M and walking through Astralis, which everyone expected to walk through the groups. But you know what? Elevate slammed them.
Itself, he's able to get a scrappy fight and find the first and a bit of revenge, but 5 seconds and 2 more players left. He won't even be able to breach the boards. Elevate, they take this game.
They take the first 3 points here at the Major in Berlin, and they will be more than happy with that one. It was a long delay that they have to wait for.
Around the corner, Onigiri's putting the Claymore down. The spray comes out, but it's revenge. Mr. Punch has the cover, has the catch, and there's one more. Shuttle is caught out. It is a 5 versus 1, a minute 20 for Forest to have any chance of holding on to this game here. Elevate, they are sitting on the precipice of top point. 6 points! APAC, welcome to the region, welcome to our game, Astralis, welcome to our group.
And yeah, that's just what Elevate does really, just slams and defies the odds, and that's what we love, and that's what we love them for. And at the start of day 2, we beat Astralis once again in a very exciting, intense overtime game, and then went on to beat Furia, which was really, really crucial and one for the history books, as that was one of the first times that Elevate had ever beaten a LATAM team. So yeah, one to tick off the list of another nation dominated by the APAC team of Elevate. This meant that we clinched major playoff spots, which also guaranteed a couple more SI points, which are always welcome when you're trying to get to SI 2023. Unfortunately, we got beaten in map 1 of the quarterfinals against W7N, with W7N being most people's favourites to take home the title at this Berlin Major. However, with this impressive comeback on map 2 on Bank, with the entire crowd chanting for Elevate, which is what I want to see at SA 2023, because I'm going to be there as well, cheering on the boys, so we hope you all will be as well.
DCH taken out.
Just look at the fear that's instilled into the minds of these W7M players. Elevate, they're everywhere. They try and get into the site, but there's an Elevate player there. They can't even fight outside of the building. Now GDN finally making his way in, but what of it? Ground floor control, all of the anchors now sitting pretty.
Then they went to a map 3, which unfortunately was lost by Elevate in an intense, once again, overtime after leading everyone's favourites to take home the entire Berlin Major 5-3. We were knocked out at the Major at the top 8 stage. This meant that we came away at the end of stage 2 with 655 SI points, with 380 of those being taken from stage 2. We now move on to stage 3, in which 145 points were secured. After a strong stage 1 and stage 2, Elevate needed their worst stage of all time to not qualify for SI. So Elevate started stage 3 pretty much as perfect as can be, destroying the Knights 7-1, tied 7-4, so what a fantastic bloody start. But then a little bit of shakiness set in, maybe a little bit of overconfidence. But to be honest, when you got Onigiri on your team, you can be overconfident in my eyes. Kill record leader, by the way. Kill record leader. Elevate went on to lose their next 3 games, notably losing to Wildcard 2-7. With such a rough stage 3, Elevate were in a bad spot. And it was looking a little bit dicey whether or not we would qualify for SI. So we needed a win against Gaming Gladiators, one of the best teams. And in the final week to get those necessary SI points to keep our dreams alive of going to SI. And a loss to Gaming Gladiators would end Elevate's SI qualification hopes. But you know what? When the chips are down and the clutches are needed, who steps up but the Gunners of Elevate? As they clutched up and win in the final week 7-5, which basically qualified us for SI. When I say basically, I mean there was a 97% chance that we would qualify for SI, which guaranteed us 145 SI points. So leading into the Sweden Major, there were a couple of things that needed to happen for Elevate to qualify for SI 2023. And you know what? They bloody did all happen, which means Elevate qualified for SI 2023. So you can get around it and get amongst it and cheer on the boys of Elevate as they look to be crowned SI 2023 champions. You can catch all their games live over on Twitch, with the SI taking place from the 7th to the 19th of February. So make sure you get your tickets or tune in online. And also, if you want to do it in style, which I definitely will be doing, and I already know a lot of my mates are doing as well, because the merch is insane and it looks fantastic, and it was created by the wonderful Devon as well. Go check him out if you haven't already. Fantastic, and a lovely human as well. But get yourself on some limited time SI 2023 merch, which I have to say is hands down the most fantastic bit of competitive Rainbow Six Siege esports merchandise I have ever seen in my 30 years on this planet. So make sure you cheer on the boys of Elevate, because it's going to be a fantastic time, and we know we're in for a bucket load of fantastic Rainbow Six Siege, fantastic people, and just an all-round amazing event. I'll be there, and I might see you there if you're going there as well. But enjoy SI and make sure to cheer on Elevate. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye!